Hey everybody, Saturday again, Saturday afternoon, 4:30 p.m. Here I am for another live catch up with Mayo. That's me. And I see we have people joining me already, and I appreciate that. Before I start anything, I think I'm going to partake in a sip of water to start my show in my alien green cup. This is going to be in a museum one day, probably. How sweet it is. Okay. Yeah. As I I've got company upstairs, people walking around. I always feel self-conscious. I can't be as loud as I want to, outspoken. Project, like to project a little more. So here we go. Let's say hello to some people who have been showing up here early, and I appreciate that. 50 Thunderer. Hi, hi, hi. That's a great song. Great song. Good afternoon, girl. How are you, Mark? Happy birthday to Clint Eastwood, who's 95 today. Ay, ay, ay. Clint, he's made it. He's made it. Is he going to make 100? I hope. I think Van Dyke's got to make 100 yet. Is he going to make 100 soon? Dick Van Dyke. I think he just turned 99. If I'm sure what I'm talking about. Okay. Hello, Gary, and hello. I'm gonna see if I say the name right this time. Romoga. How's that, Romoga? I got to get the name right. Jeez, help me, Lord. I got to get it right. What's up, Brad? Me, Mr. Mayo, and Cinemayo channels are both on fire. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, and everybody who's watching those channels. Yeah, you might have noticed over at my movie channel, Mr. Cinemayo, I'm really posting a lot of videos. I'm trying to post one a day. There may be days where I skip, but I'm trying to do one a day, and that's not going to be too difficult because I'm dipping into my old reserve of over 800 movies that I've reviewed in past years, and therefore I could just go into my records where I have reviews, just eeny, meeny, miny, mo, pick a movie, different genres here and there, try to mix them up a bit, and post it. So I'm trying to keep a lot of content on. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay. James, hello, James Farley, and hello, Robbie, Detroit's Vinyl. What do you think of that Elvis movie that's coming, right? They're talking about an Elvis movie coming out called Epic. Elvis Presley in concert. Is that what that means? I think that's what Epic stands for. Hi, Joe. Hello, EKR. What's going on? Mike Wall, Jasper, to you too. And Charles. What's up, Ollie? What's up? 800 days. I don't have that much time. Yeah, I got a lot of, I got content for I don't know what that is, 3 years and around there, give or take. Hello, Paul. Enjoy my Beatles solo updates. Thank you. It's always good to have a reason to make them. As I say, you like to know that people enjoy what you're doing, therefore you do it. There's no point in doing it if people aren't watching. Sounds like an old cliche, but it is the truth. Very much the truth. I've seen a lot of Elvis footage, and I hope it is truly unseen footage. Yeah. That's the thing. A lot of times they say, "Oh, it's rare footage, unseen footage," right? And then it's just stuff you've seen already. Maybe most common fans. I mean, people who are not diehards haven't seen it. Okay. Other than the Beatles and Stones, what other groups do you think are the best of the British invasion? The Kinks, the Animals, come to mind first. I pre-ordered the mono box. Do you think it's really limited, or is it like the Stones mono box, which you can still buy? I really don't know, but I mean, in the case of the Beatles mono box from 2014, the first time it was out 11 years ago, once they were done, and you couldn't get it anymore. And then people were paying $2,000 on eBay for copies. And I really, I understand people like to make money and everything, but I got to tell you, to me, the idea of allowing 4 boxes per customer it just rubs me the wrong way. You know, there is going to be people that are just buying them simply to jack up the prices to a couple of $1,000 maybe down the line. If the value goes down, then they screwed themselves. They bought them for nothing. Nice pickup at that video store. Yes, if anybody wants to know what that is, that's here on my other channel here, which I'll scroll on the bottom. Mr. Cinemayo, my second channel. I did a video where I went to this really cool store. They have old movies, meaning old movies like used movies. Oh, let me put that back. Put that back. There it is. You know, old movies that are used and brand new movies. And I go there to fill some holes in my collection, and I made a video. So, and the Hollies, yes, the Hollies are good. I like Herman's Hermits. Okay, I'm a Herman's Hermits fan. Peter Noon and the Hermits. Yep, absolutely. Do you remember when the Blue Box came out with Rarities, the album, and they said it wouldn't be released separately, and then they did? Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah, I mean, you know, 4 per customer is BS. You know, there's people that would like to have it. But all they care about is, you know, all they care about obviously is they want to make the money. I understand. Oh no, there's not going to be any. There's not. Oh, retro golden Mayo. I was going to say the title is good, Mr. Cinemayo for good, right? Yeah. No, it's pretty good. It's pretty official. I've had that name more than for the longest spell of any of the names I used. I kept changing my name, but I think you mean when you say retro golden Mayo, you're thinking of a title for a feature. The mono mixes are true to how the early Beatles records originally sounded. The fake stereo remixes doesn't work for me. I like early Beatles in mono. Well, you know, again, I feel like I've said this a zillion times for me personally, but my opinion is I don't have a preference either for mono or stereo. I tend to think I prefer stereo overall as a general rule, but when it comes to the Beatles, it depends on the song. I like All You Need Is Love in mono. I do not like All You Need Is Love in stereo. I hate it when they start singing love, love, love all the way over here and all the way over there. The instrumentation comes in, a choir or whatever it is. I hate that. I'm using my laptop for these live streams. I use my laptop now almost all the time. There was a time when I used my phone. Well, if I'm using my phone, you'll see me have to go scroll like with my finger like that on this phone. But I mean, I'm just curious. Is there a reason you ask? I'm just wondering if there's a reason that you ask. Okay, I knew. Hi, George. Hi, George. And I knew this would come up. And I'm not talking about you, George. I'm talking in general. I don't think the Beatles' "Let It Be Naked" is a fake. It's a real thing because I listened to it countless times, and that's my opinion. I know what I hear on that CD. Very good. Very good. The thing is, you know, I put that video up, and I've gotten tons and tons and tons and tons of comments. And I'll talk about it here again if people want to talk about it. I'm not going to avoid talking about it. However, I just feel, boy, I'm kind of let it be naked to death by now. You know, I kind of like had my fill of that, but still, we'll talk about it if you like. There it is, another one. I liked your post on Let It Be Naked. Never noticed the pitch correction. I still can't. Yeah, I can't either, so I'm fine with it, you know. And I never play that. I never play Let It Be Naked. I never do. But when I did, it didn't bother me. And if I do now, all I really want to hear is Don't Let Me Down off there because it's alternate. It's different. And I like to hear the alternate Long and Winding Road. If it's pitch controlled, I couldn't give a rat's ass. It sounds fine to me. Now, if you're talking about the principle of doing it, that's another issue. What Beatles books do you think are essential for any real fan? First and foremost, Tune In by Mark Lewison, if you want to get the whole full story of the Beatles. It depends like what you're interested in, you know, that's the thing. I think that's a good history book on the Beatles in the early years. It goes up to 1963. And the next book, which I think Mark Lewison is going to have out in a year or so, I think, don't quote me on that, we'll go past that 1964 and up. But It depends what you want. Then if you'd like to collect records, that's a whole other thing. If, Bruce Spicer has a wonderful series of books on that stuff. Let's see. Okay. Hello, Day Tripper. Day Tripper, yeah. What's going on? I'm glad you ditched the headphones. You and me both. You and me both. Well, the reason I got rid of the headphones was because I started having problems. I couldn't get the sound to come in. I was having issues with them. So I said, screw this. Hello, Joseph. What's going on? Oh, I see. You're going to start your channel back up. Was wondering what I use. Yeah, I use my laptop. Yeah, I much prefer my laptop. But the thing is, when I used to go to that classroom, which I'm happy to say, I have to go there tomorrow, and that may be my last time for the summer. I go tomorrow, then I'm done. That's what's supposed to happen. But anyway, when I used to go to the classroom on some Sundays and sometimes, and I used to be over there, I wouldn't bring my laptop with me. I would just bring my little phone with me, and I would work on the phone. The last several times that I've been going to the place, I've been putting my laptop in a bag, unplugging it, folding it down, and bringing it with me. Always afraid it's going to get accidentally damaged, So that's the whole thing with that. I agree with what George just said in the comments. There you go. Across the Universe was pitch corrected on Naked, and that's been known for years. No big deal about that one. That's one of the ones I like too. Always pitch. I like the version. For a while, when people were asking me, which version of Across the Universe do you like best, and there's several versions, I would say I think I like the one on Let It Be Naked. It's pitch controlled. Oh, heavens to Betsy. Oh, I can't listen to it anymore. Anyway, I just made that negativity video. I'm telling you, man. Hey, look, don't get me wrong. I made a video on complaining, people whining about Beatles stuff, and people do it all the time. That's part of what it means to be a fan. And God knows, look, I'm not trying to say I'm not going to whine. I'm a whiner. I'm a complainer, and I probably excuse me. I probably will do that again. It's not that I never complain. I do, but not as much as some people. It's getting to the point where all it is like who can complain the loudest. It seems like. Okay. Hello, Yorkie girl. Good to see you here. What Beatles books do you think are essential for fans? Didn't I just talk about this? I think I did. Yeah, Bruce Spicer is very good. I have just about every one of them. He signed them. Yeah. Just received my Elvis Original International Hotel concert photos that they sold in the lobby. They were not cheap. Hey, I'm all about collecting. Don't worry. There was talk about Paul using auto-tune on his Naked version of The Long and Winding Road, but the Naked version of Long and Winding Road was released on Anthology 3 with no auto-tune. I know Yelly, man. Tim Allen told me this. A lot of people told me that. It's funny because even though, I'm a huge Beatle fan, obviously, I don't remember everything either. Now, I don't know how long it's been since I played Anthology 3. If I play Anthology at all, it's usually Volume 2. 2 of Anthology is my favorite, and then 1. I rarely play 3. There's things I like on there. Cry Baby Cry, I remember liking on there, and other stuff. But anyway, be that as it may, I like My Name, Look Up the Number, the long version. What's the thing I'm trying to say? But anyway, I haven't heard The Long and Winding Road on Anthology 3 in a long time. Had I known that, I might not have made that video that I just made. You see, you make a video, you put your feelings out at the time, then you get comments. And they teach you things. You learn from people. And you start to realize, hey, you know what? I might have something a little wrong here. Or maybe I wasn't too sharp with this, and I forgot that. And I overlooked that, and I didn't remember. So it happens, I don't know. All I know is I don't play Let It Be Naked much at all. I don't know how many times in the remainder of my life I'll ever play it. But when I have, I've enjoyed it quite a bit, especially my favorite track on it, the version of Don't Let Me Down, alternate, that's on there. And don't worry, the wasp will be waiting for you. Yeah, I know. I found another wasp in there, in the classroom. Sometimes they get in through the cracks. Have you noticed that Elvis releases are slowing down? Seems they're running out of unreleased outtakes, etc., of his to put out. also given up on the remixes or the orchestra thing. You want to talk about bastardizing things? I know one of those Elvis albums where they added an orchestral background. I forget which one did very, very well. I don't think the second one did as well, if I'm not mistaken, but neither here nor there, because the things they do just to keep it going, the product going with Elvis is incredible. Okay, Tommy James and the Shondells, yes. Creedence, yes. The Grassroots, yes. Best singles band. Out of that particular list, I would put Creedence first if you're talking about singles, and then I put Tommy James, and then I put the Grassroots. Hi, Douglas. What's going on? Auto-tune to me sounds like there's a wobble in the voice, and I never hear it. I don't. I only hear it when it's extreme, like in the 1998 version of Cher's song called "Believe." She's singing "Believe," whatever that was. You can hear it, but I don't hear it otherwise, and I'm happy I don't hear it. Leave me alone. If I don't hear it, out of sight, out of mind, or out of ear, out of mind. Hello, Spinner. I would guess Apple releases more Beatles mono box sets. I think it will be over then next while in phases, so no more having to pay $2,500 US for the box. We'll see. I think the only unreleased Elvis stuff these days is live performances. Yeah, there still may be a lot of those too. And I'm not a live performance guy. Give me a handful of live performances that are good, and I'm done. I like studio. I'm a studio guy. I didn't notice the auto-tune and Let It Be Naked, although I might now that I know about it. Well, that's the thing, too. Just, stop it. Once somebody tells you something, you know what it might be. They tell you something you never noticed before. Maybe it's a audio thing. Maybe it's a visual thing. And then you can't unsee it or you can't unhear it. Once you hear it or see it, that's it. You can't get it out of there. Let's see. Michael, hello. Pitch correction can strip away some of the character of a voice, but it can be very subtle or really obvious. Very little Elvis reissues, really. Think of Record Store Day. Very few, if any. When does the Beatles 64 documentary come out on DVD or Blu-ray? I haven't heard anything about that, George. And quite frankly, I could wait years for that. I mean, I don't even know if I'd ever get it, to tell you the truth. I might. I wasn't that fond of it. I did a review on it. But never visited Liverpool. Absolutely have never done it. But that doesn't, I was going to say absolutely not. That's stupid because I don't mean absolutely not. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. I'd like to go one day. I've said that since I started this channel. I haven't gone yet. We'll see what the future holds with that. Here in the States, it has trickled up, but overseas, there's something coming out every day. Elvis, that is. Thank you for clarifying. I thought that's what you meant. Right. Auto-tune like Cher sounds robotic. Right. And when they did that song Believe, they were obviously making it really, really, really pronounced because they wanted it to stand out as a special effect. And I liked it as an oddball thing. But I don't hear that. You know what I mean? If I don't hear it in the songs, I'm not bothered by it, I hear they're going to auto-tune Archie Bunker. Good afternoon, Chris. All right. The long and winding road on Let It Be Naked was from the film Let It Be. The one on Anthology 3 was the original without the strings and choir. I'm getting mixed up here now because Tim Allen and a couple of people told me that the one on Anthology 3 is the same one as on Let It Be Naked. A few people told me that, this is what I mean. I don't know. Talks amongst yourselves. I'll see what else I can add to the conversation, if anything. Okay, they released the Jungle Room session a couple of years ago, and that is probably the last unreleased Elvis release. It had alternative takes, etc. I have it. Guess what? Never played it. When am I going to do that return of that series that I did a while ago? First time spins. Yeah, one of these days, You're going to go to my channel, people. Either go to my channel willingly, or it's going to pop up in your feed or somewhere, a recommendation, and you're going to see, holy shit, the guy actually did another first time spins video. I can't believe it. You wait. You wait. Nope. I just heard that, well, it's a long story. I'm not going to get into it, but I know, no, it's a long story. No, it's going to be another couple of years. Let's put it that way. You know, not my liking. It's the people we're waiting on to help us with this thing. Let's see. Just pulled my Magical Mystery Tour vinyl out today and realized my copy is on Parlophone. Is it Polygram? What am I talking about? I thought it only came out on Capitol. Oh boy, I get mixed up with this. It's on Apple. It's on Horzu. It's yeah, I'm all mixed up with that right now. No, it's not just on Capitol. I think there are copies now that you can get on the British label. You want me to take this banner down? I'll take the banner down. No, I'm going to leave it up for a while. What the hell? What do I got to lose? I got nothing to lose, and possible new subscribers at the other channel to gain. So why not? You get used to it after a while. Okay, let's see. Okay, big news. Three Dog Night putting out a new album next month, the first since the 70s. Danny Hutton is still there. Well, I don't know the individual members of Three Dog Night. They got a lot of hits that I like from back in the 70s, especially Shambhala. Shambhala is my favorite song, and Joy to the World. Those are my two favorite songs by Three Dog Night, and I couldn't tell you who the members were of Three Dog Night. You know, okay, what's this here? Okay, I watched Bono talk about being guided around Liverpool by McCartney and Paul telling him stories about John sharing a bar of chocolate with him when they were teenagers on Joe Rogan's show. Interesting. Do you think John Lennon would have used auto-tune if it existed in his lifetime? My guess is probably not. Well, the thing is, it's hard to tell with John, you know, because he always changed his mind. He always did creative things. He always wanted to try something different, experiment a lot. He didn't like the sound of his voice. I think he might have used it, and moreover, I think he did like doing things to his voice. Yes, I think he would use auto-tune. That's a bold statement, but I think John might have. But you never know. Let's see. I don't know if you're asking me, but I never met the guy from the Grassroots. With rock and roll, I want to hear the rough edges of a voice often. Shouldn't be pitch perfect, in my opinion. Well, mine too. You know, I like Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, for God's sake. I like Joan Jett's rough, rowdy voice. I mean, if she sings like she's Barbara Streisand or something, I don't think I would like it coming from Joan Jett, you know. Okay, they should have released the two original Get Back planned albums rather than Let It Be Naked. Okay. It might be the take from the film, but the Billy Preston solo is flown in from elsewhere. Okay. Are you getting the Wings book in the fall? I don't remember which one this is, but I know there's one with a really horrendous cover on it, a really ugly blue cover, but I've seen the cover, but I'll have to see on that one. Probably. It depends what it's going to be about. I'm really cutting down on Beatles books. I'm cutting down on Beatles magazines. I'm cutting down on Beatles collecting cassette tapes and 8-tracks and all that kind of stuff. I'm cutting down on collecting a lot of things. And I always feel compelled after that to say, no, that doesn't mean I'm not going to still buy things. And you'll see me make videos where I say, hey, look what I bought. And you'll say, I thought the guy said he wasn't collecting this anymore. You know, cutting down doesn't mean eliminating totally, you know what I mean? But certain things just not interested in, you know. We all know you have an album stacked on top of that turntable. Yeah. Do you think Miles Showell Abbey Road will master and cut a Horzu proper stereo Magical Mystery Tour? I heard about this recently. I don't know, folks, but why don't you just go get the original? I mean, that's the thing with me. Same thing with the mono box. I know what you're going to say, because the original is too damn expensive. I mean, that's I mean, an obvious answer, right? It's an obvious answer. Why don't you just do it? Because people feel it's too expensive to get originals and collectibles. That's why. Okay, I got you. Let's see. Yeah, what is this? 87 people watching and 7 likes. I have to ask you to hit the like button. Come on. Come on, folks. Hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Gary, for reminding me. Hit the thumbs up. Much appreciated. Will you ever have Plastic EP back on your live streams? Fact, I haven't talked to Plastic EP in a long time, and he hasn't had me on his shows either, so I don't know. I do come across him now and then on social media. Thank you. What'd you do? Just get a new set of glasses or something like that? But seriously, okay. Yes, I should have mentioned this too in my video. Paul used auto-tune on Good Evening New York City. Paul cleaned up, what's the word you want to say? Sweetened Wings Over America. This is not a new practice. That's why it's just hilarious hearing some people get so bent about it. Let It Be Naked. Okay, Mark. The Long and Winding Road. A final take recorded on the 31st of January, 1969. Instead of the album take from 26 January, previously unreleased. 2 days ago, I finally got my turntable fixed, and I ordered the Meet the Beatles blue vinyl, and it sounds great. Yeah, I stayed away from those two. I did get the Meet the Beatles blue vinyl because I thought it was cool because of the anniversary, and it was blue and all that. So I got that one, but I didn't get any of the others. And of course, I put it on my turntable. It's a slight warp. I'm like, come on, I love. They want $35, $40 for an album these days, and you get it. It's warped. I mean, it played good. I played it. The sound was fine, but there's a little slight wave to it. And I'm like, I don't need that for that kind of money. Rant over for this moment. Now I'm doing the complaining, which I said I do. I'm not holier than thou. Hello, Match Stickman. How are you? Absolutely true. Elvis and the Beatles take you down a deep rabbit hole. Exactly. Better have deep pockets, which I don't. But yeah, I know that's why I can't collect everything anymore, and don't want to either. There's 3 things. Number 1, money. Number 2, space. But those 2 are not the biggest things because I'll always make some space, and I'll always find the money. The thing I can't change is time. That's the thing. Time is number 1 on my list of the reasons I don't get so many things anymore. It's just insane. You start realizing I've been around, more in the past, than I'm going to be in the future. That's just the way it is. Okay, let's see. Yes, I know that Paul used auto-tune on Get Enough. He went on full share with that. See, that's when I can hear the auto-tune, and I can decipher the auto-tune. As long as I can't decipher it, I don't give a rat's patootie what they do, other than principle. You get 2 things. Number 1, to your ears. Does it bother your ears? You're okay with it to hear it? Number 2, do you think it's sacrilegious? There's 2 different matters with that. Okay. Yeah, I think that's true that there was auto dubbing or some kind of sweetening on Wings Over America. Okay, let's see here. A lot of the reparations were reported on at the time of its release. I'm curious about the outrage of the pitch correction. The whole of Across the Universe acoustic version is one big pitch correct. What can I say? We need to see some videos about it. I mean, once in a while, I stumble over to Michael Nolan's channel, and I like the way he comes right out and says what he's on his mind. Whether it's about people talking politics, too much in music, whether it's about should we really be getting the Beatles mono box set released, and so there's so many other things they should be giving us. So he just says it. Once in a while, I go over there. I've like browsed through some live streams of yours, so. Okay. Oh, that's nice of you, James. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat, they call it. Thank you, James. Appreciate the sentiment. Where are we? I listened to the McCartney Streisand collaboration of My Valentine, and I like it. Nothing earth shattering, but it's good. I agree. I agree. I enjoyed your segment. Are you going to put door events and are you your segment? Are you going to put door events and showing records and other stuff? What are we talking about? I lose it, man. I lose the plot sometimes. I'm sorry. Paul likely used auto tune on coming up. Well, I don't. Was auto tune a thing? I thought auto tune wasn't around till the late '90s. I mean, obviously, there's some kind of effect on it. Sure. Uh, let's see. Paul said there were going to be more Beatles releases after Abbey Road, which is different than what I've heard from others. Do you think that's true? Or is he just trying to rewrite history? There was nothing solid. There was a meeting. There was a meeting when they got together where they were thinking maybe they could still go on, and they were thinking how they could arrange how many tracks they get each on an album. George and also Ringo if he wanted, etc. And very good, very well said. I thought I was the one who was supposed to do the complaining. Exactly. Hey, look, that's why I want to make it clear. I complain just as much as anybody, but there's levels of it. There's some people they just never stop complaining about Beatles product ever. You know, before they invented auto tune, it was called pitch correction. I can't believe you let Anthony hold your camera for the video store. Well, I've done that before when necessary. Yeah. My copy is steady and not wobbling. Let's meet the Beatles. I think we're talking about. Whoop. Hello, doing well, thanks. Do you think that Paul will go to a better world before Ringo? Ringo's the heart of the Beatles. It would be poetic if he would be the last one. I really don't like speculating that because I mean, I will and I would, but some people get upset about it. I really don't know. All I could say about that is I could see the irony of Ringo being the last person from the Beatles. I'm not including Pete Best, the four main Beatles, because he had such a sickly childhood. And I always thought, wouldn't it be amazing if the young boy that was so sick that was going to die and kept telling his mother he'll be dead in the morning, the doctors would say, when he was like young, very young. He wound up doing well and taking care of himself so good and bouncing back and getting clean and sober. And then he winds up possibly being the last Beatle standing. I mean, that's all I could say about that. I think Paul used a vocoder on coming up. It was popular effect then. ELO used it a lot. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, what I said in my video. Who gives a shit, really? People have been using that stuff forever. They've been using stuff forever. How about Crimson and Clover? Tommy James and the Shondells. Crimson and Clover over. I'm sorry. Really getting stupid now. Let's see. Let's see. I just realized Paul also used some auto tune or vocal effects on the Flowers in the Dirt album, not the Dirge album. Well, it's Flowers in the Dirge to me. But having said that, I like half of the album. I do. I like half of the album. I think there's two Paul classics on there. Put It There and this one. I think there's two Paul classics on there. Have you seen Ed of the King's Court lately? For a long time I had not seen him, and then I ran into him, and it was good to see him again. Yep. Okay. Could it be that I'm caught up? I'm always amazed when I get, because the first time in 34 minutes I've been caught up, and I don't have to keep scrolling. Cheers. How sweet it is. All right. Do you think rock and roll will make a comeback? I hope so, but I'm not interested. You know, that's the other subject. There were some people who are older. See, let's just say people who are 50 and up, 50 and up who are actively interested in new music. They want to hear new music. They thirst for new music. They're interested in new music. God bless them. Godspeed. For me, my whole thing is I'm getting older. Therefore, the older I get, the less time there is to replay and re-enjoy and re-enjoy and re-enjoy all the things that I've loved. So I'd rather spend the time doing that. But having said that, occasionally there is a new movie I will see now and then. I'll say, that's a good movie. I'm glad I saw that new movie. I'm glad I could add that to my pile. Or maybe once in a while I'll hear a new album or a new song and I'll say, that's pretty good. Maybe I'll buy that CD. You know, glad I found out about that. I didn't know about this artist. But for the most part, I don't kill myself going, so to speak, over and over and over and over and over again, having to like stay on top of it all. But I don't know. So I like to think rock and roll will make a comeback, but if it does, it won't be for me. It'll be for other people. There's plenty of great rock and roll from the 50s all the way through into the 21st century to enjoy already. Will you stop asking me about the Outer Limits? Come on. I think you're doing that for a joke. I have not bought the Outer Limits, and I have not finished Lost in Space. I've only got 5 or 6 episodes left, and now I'm stalling. There are 83 episodes of Lost in Space. I watched like 78, 77 or 78, and now I'm like, stalling. So there you go. Just listen to Octopus's Garden. The harmonies have effects to sound like they're underwater. I think it was the same effect on Crimson and Clover. Let me guess the great films you hate or have never seen. Dawn of the Dead. I am not a fan of Dawn of the Dead. I love Night of the Living Dead and Day of the Dead. Angel Heart I've never seen. Phantasm, I like the sphere, the ball with the deadly ball with the sphere. But the movie generally is not very good. Creepshow I've never seen. Deliverance, I like that movie. That's a great movie. From Hell It Came, it's fun. It's stupid but fun. I don't know what After Midnight is. The Long Riders I haven't seen. Videodrome, I saw Videodrome in the movie theater with Debbie Harry and Blondie. I don't remember it. I remember it was crazy. It was weird. And Heavy Metal I didn't see. Okay, I watched all 12 episodes of Faulty Towers last week. Classic John Cleese. John Cleese is good. Angel Heart is good, Joe. It's weird, but it's set in Louisiana, I think, with De Niro. Angel Heart, isn't Lisa Bonet in there? She was on the Cosby Show with Bill Cosby, I think. All right. I think. So what's on everybody's so-called minds? Yeah. Here I am. Here I am taking a break. Faulty Towers. Oops. Faulty Towers is a masterpiece. I keep doing it. When I was a kid, I saw 13 Ghosts in the theater. They gave out cardboard glasses. I have not, even though I like William Castle films, I've seen a lot of films by that director, William Castle, the producer. He did all those gimmicks, gimmick films. And I have to say, though, 13 Ghosts I never saw. I don't love ghost movies. New mono box set is on my mind. Yes, The Haunted Strangler with Boris Karloff is on Svengoolie tonight. Yes, I know the movie. It's quite a good movie. Boris Karloff in his later years. I think he was 70 when he made that, and it's a good one. It's a good later Karloff movie. If you're gonna watch some Boris Karloff horror movies later on in his career, other than when he was younger and did Frankenstein and that stuff, that's one of the better ones to watch. The Haunted Strangler. If I listened to the Toy Matinee album, my opinion, you say it's the best release of the '90s. As a fun fact, has Julian Lennon on backup vocals on a few tracks. Nope. I have no interest in basketball, and here I am, a New York Mets baseball fan. I haven't watched any Mets either. I know as soon as I watch them, they're going to go downhill. That always happens. So I think Lennon was smart to make Just Like Starting Over as a remake of the '50s coming into the '80s. That was where his mind was at the time. Yeah. I've not seen Creepers either with Jennifer Connelly. Nope. Music by the Goblins. The Goblins did Suspiria, right? That's a good soundtrack. And Bill Wyman of the Stones. I went to the Beatles website and the mono set 540 was already sold out, yes, but I read that more on the way. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? You're not paying 540 for it. Don't. I didn't pay it either. I'm not getting it. The Sorcerers, yes, I know that movie. Yeah, The Sorcerers is Boris Karloff really late. Boris Karloff died in 1969, so 1967. The Sorcerers is pretty good. Also, of course, the movie Targets from 1968 is one of Karloff's best movies. If you haven't seen the Twilight Zone episode entitled He's Alive, I recommend that you do so. I'm not going to give away the plot. I might have seen it. I've seen a lot of Twilight Zones, but I don't remember all the titles. Do you think there will ever be an Elvis vinyl box set? I personally doubt it. It seems like too much for a box. I think they've done that already. They've done a lot of Elvis box sets, haven't they, on vinyl? Unless you mean like an RCA set that has all his vinyl albums on it. That's crazy. Joseph Mantaneo, thank you so much for joining in. Anytime, man. Do you think there are still Beatle unreleased tracks that they will eventually release that we've never heard of? Also, I wonder if they release the EP collection again. I think maybe they'll release the EP collection again sometime. As far as unreleased Beatle tracks that we've never heard of, I don't think that there's nothing that I don't believe that the big Beatle fans have not heard of. You know, we know of stuff of just about everything that they have in the vaults. I'm not saying there might not be some outtakes of these things. Like we know Carnival of Light is in there. We know the long version of Helter Skelter is in there. Twilight Zone was so well shot. Each episode was like a mini film. Exactly. Are you surprised that Julian's music career basically fizzled? Julian, of all the stuff I've heard, I like Julian's stuff best. But I will say the album Jude that he had out, I did a review of that if you want to look it up. I reviewed the Jude album and I was pleasantly surprised. I think that's his latest album. He hasn't had one since that. I do not collect Petula Clark. No. I like some songs by her, but not enough to collect it all. Yes, never before seen Elvis videos or films or concert pieces will be released this summer. Yeah. I believe that it's supposed to be in a big film called Epic, EPIC, which means Elvis Presley in concert. Do you think vinyl will ever get cheaper as more pressing plants open up? I'd say maybe, but it will require a significantly higher stock of pressing plants. It sounds logical if that would happen. Is it ever going to actually happen? Beats me, but sure sounds logical. Have a few Petula Clark albums. I was listening to Nancy Wilson earlier today and Betty Carter. Have you seen Elvis on tour? Yes, I have. It's good. Well, I like Elvis on tour. I like that's the way it is. I think Sean's first album, Into the Sun, was a great first effort. Do you have it? I do not own any Sean at this point. Sean Lennon stuff. But I've heard some stuff that goes to the saber-toothed tiger. I like some of the stuff I heard off that. That's the one I always mention. But, well, of course, the first song you think of is Downtown when you think of Jula Clark. What year did you start collecting? What was your motivation to do so? I probably started collecting since I've been a child, really. I don't know. I just like having stuff, accumulating stuff. There's a lot of collectors out there that got collector's fever, but as I say, it's one of my favorite topics, and I was thinking of doing a series about it sometime, where it's just a matter of after a while, for one reason or another, people tend to get rid of some stuff, and they start realizing they're not going to buy everything. Yeah, designated survivor. I think I heard about this, and if it's what I think it is, I don't like it. No, maybe it's not. Anyway, yeah, but collecting, I still love collecting. I mean, right now, I'm not going to show you everything here. It'll be on my movie channel, but right now, I just got a bunch of, you know, a bunch of movies. I'm collecting movies right now. Movies are my thing right now. All right, I'm going to take the banner off now. I'll put it back later, maybe. People are probably like, thank God. There you go. No more distraction. Okay. One of my favorite singers of all time has to be Linda Ronstadt. I like so many, like Joan Armatrading, Kate Bush, Sam Phillips, Joni, etc. I like Linda Ronstadt too, but you may be surprised, maybe not, to hear. I've got a lot of LPs, vinyl albums of Linda Ronstadt, and I got a bunch of them one time that I found in a collection that were on white label promos. Well, I'm going to be getting rid of those. Like, those are albums that are going to go. Linda Ronstadt, I will be happy with CD collections and some albums. Like I like her Mad Love album. So the Mad Love album I'll keep on CD, and then I'll have some other compilations of hers, and that's good. You start realizing what I got. 13 years, 15, 20, and 13. That's stupid. 15, 20 years. I mean, I've got CDs 15, 20 years I've never opened or listened to. You all know what that's like to some degree if you're a big collector and get a lot of stuff. It's like, so you get to the point, it's okay when you're 20 or 25 or 30 and you think, you're going to be here 50, 55 more years. What the hell? Then you start thinking, well, it's stupid. I don't know. Let's see, where am I going here? This is a private joke between Yelly Man and I. He's a big fan of Aha, and all as far as I'm concerned, the only thing they ever did was Take on Me. I know I'm wrong. I know there's other stuff. I don't like. It's like somebody saying, "Oh, the Beatles, all they did was Let It Be. They never did anything else." I guess, but well, stupid of me to compare them to the Beatles. But I know they're big somewhere. Do you have any interest in Sherlock Holmes? Well, yes, I do, but I especially like the Basil Rathbone Universal movies with Nigel Bruce. If you go to my movie channel, Mr. Cinemayo, I've done some reviews on those movies. Yep, I'm going to get through the whole series eventually. Thanks for reminding me. I think I'll do another one. Thanks for reminding me because, yeah, I have a lot of them, as I said earlier here. I have a lot of reviews, retro reviews that I did years ago, and I'm going to pull some Sherlock Holmes one out and put those videos up. Make videos of those reviews. All right, so I don't really know Sparks as much, and I know Larry Graves is a big fan. I do like Ricky Nelson. Yeah, I do like Ricky Nelson. My one wish before I leave this planet is for the Beatles to put out the Candlestick Park on Blu-ray one of these days. From your lips to Apple's ears. Have you checked out that Marty Blu-ray you just got? Well, I have it buried over here. I haven't looked at it yet. No, I must have got like 25, 30 Blu-rays lately, but I have not spun that one yet. Really love that movie. I mean, I'm very familiar with the movie. That's why, I got upgraded it on Blu-ray. You know, who's the most overrated superstar? That requires a lot of thinking. You say you're cutting down on your collection. I don't say it. I am. What Beatles holy grails do you want? There's not many. There aren't many. I can't think of any. Get me the portrait cover, the gray suit portrait cover of Beatles and Frank Ifield, and that's it. Luckily for me, I'm not a fan of mobile fidelity collecting, and thank God for that, because that's another rabbit hole. Have you seen Christopher Lee as Sherlock Holmes? I do have a movie, The Hound of the Baskervilles from 1959. I think it's a Hammer film from England, but I think Peter Cushing is Sherlock Holmes in that. I have it back there. Just saw it the other day. You might notice if you look closely, you see these shelves here. There's the spaces here. Yeah, I've been going back there and pulling stuff out that I'm going to sell. So you can see the making room. I'm trying to condense a little bit. Hello, Noah. Thanks for showing up here and saying hi. Wasn't there a thing about mobile fidelity that came out that they were fakes or something? Speaking of fakes, wasn't there like a little while ago some news that mobile fidelity is not what they said they were? I don't know the whole details of it, but I seem to remember something about that. Yeah, mobile fidelity was accused of being digital. Well, do you know? Just like we got "Let It Be Naked" being accused of being auto-tuned. Oh yeah. Just enjoy the music, folks. I'm really starting to get so much like that. From 2009, mobile fidelity's been using digital files instead of analog. Like yeah, there you go, etc., etc. Do you have all of the McCartney archive boxes and vinyls released so far? I know I have all of the box sets. I have all the archive box sets. I think I have all of the vinyls as well. Vinyl, yeah, I have all the vinyl. Yeah. Okay, I hear you. Okay. Hey, as long as you're happy, that's what it's all about. Same thing with "Let It Be Naked." If you like "Let It Be Naked," you like listening to it so freaking what? Listen to it. Oh, gee, it's auto tune. Oh, now I can't enjoy it anymore. I don't know, folks. Although the MoFi still sound good for the most part, they know how to master to a digital file, and it still sounds great on many of the titles. I have some, but they are pricey. So that's why I'm glad I never went down that rabbit hole, because I don't want to start getting into having to deal with the prices. That's crazy stuff price wise. Glad I never went down that hole. Here we go again. Have you talked to Danny lately? No, I have not talked to Danny. I haven't really talked to him. He hasn't talked to me. I don't know what's going on with him. I just know that his wife, Robin, today said hello. She sent me a little text thing. Hello, how are you? And I said hello. And that's it. I'd like to talk to Danny. Well, maybe I should give him a call. But are you going to answer? I mean, nothing's wrong. Yeah, the way you talk here, there's nothing wrong. We're friends. I'm just saying. I made a rant video a while ago where I bitched about people who say, "I'm just saying." You remember that one? And I just said it. I catch myself every flipping day doing it. But Whew. Luckily for me, in that rant video, I did say within the video itself that I do it too. I do it too. It's a bad habit. I bought one MoFi album, The Sisters of Mercy, and it was meh. Here's your beer, Archie. All right, leave it there. I figured I'd throw in. What I want to know about Danny is I want to know if Danny's on his way to see Oasis. I could swear they were. And I hear nothing about it. I remember when he used to be on my show, and Danny was like, "Oh, Oasis, Oasis," Oasis is going to be out again live. The biggest thing in the world is going to be like Beatlemania. I'm going to see them. What happened to them? Did they come? Nobody's talking about it. I hear nothing about it. Nothing about it do I hear. And I wonder if Danny's going. He said he was going to go. I have a gut feeling that the Beatles and mono box set and the George Harrison remaster on vinyl, the greatest hits, is it in between reissues. If I got you right, okay. Bill Withers on the MoFi SACD was awesome. I like some Bill Withers songs. Just the two of us. Ain't No Sunshine and Lean on Me, my two favorite, of course. Bill Withers songs. I bought Let It Be Naked on CD and vinyl when it came out. I was not thrilled with it. The sound was too clean. It also felt like they just chopped the songs from the master one after the other. Yeah, it wasn't that good. Why did the Who get rid of Zach Starkey? Because they said he played too loud or something? Somebody can tell them all about that. DSD is completely different than PCM Digital. People were literally getting worked up about nothing. They shouldn't be playing master tapes over and over to make masters, so I applaud that. I got you with that, exactly. If they play the masters over and over, they could ruin the tapes or they could break or something like that, so they're afraid to keep utilizing them to make more product. I definitely agree with you on the George Harrison greatest hits on Capitol, just for the Bangladesh single, even. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're talking about. The Sherlock Holmes you were referring to it was called Sherlock Holmes and the Deadly Necklace off the Sherlock Holmes Film Festival DVD. It includes Basil Rathbone, 17 hours worth. Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with all of it. There's a lot of Sherlock Holmes stuff, though, in general, right? Who's the one? Jeremy? Oh, I forget what it was. Even Charlton Heston did a Sherlock Holmes made-for-TV movie. Yeah, what I mean is they shouldn't play the master tapes like 30 times to make stampers. That's stupid. Yeah, exactly. I got you with that. I'm still here, but I'm just going to, I don't know. Sometimes it's good to just stretch, make a funny face. I'm stretching right now. I'm making like a funny face, twisting my face. So we'll do that without anybody having to see it. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Just give me a second. I'll be back. If you want to look at my mug, I want to take a sip of water. How sweet that water is. All right. Exactly. Like I think I see what you're saying. Like you think the concert for Bangladesh and the anthology series will be the next for the Harrison camp and the Beatles camp. I think you're right. Yeah, I don't use sugar exactly. I don't. It's just a statement. That's what Jackie Gleason always said. I don't know if you know that what came from Jackie Gleason. Yeah, well, I think that's a pretty valid opinion that you made about what's coming out next. That's a logical opinion. I think you might be right there. Sure. We can make it if we try, just the two of us. Now you got Bill Withers stuck in my head. I might be watching the movie Death Wish, the Charles Bronson movie tonight. I've seen it a long time ago. It's not the remake, the Charles Bronson one. So, yeah. See, that's a movie that just arrived today. If Romongo, what the heck is your name again? Romongo? I don't freaking remember. If he's still here. You see that one. Sometimes I'll watch them immediately. That one, I've been dying to see the Death Wish movies again lately. So that one arrived today, and I'll probably watch it tonight. Right, the same day it arrived. Depends on your moods, what you're into at any given time. Yes. Do you like the 2009 Beatles vinyl remasters? No, no, I don't have them. The vinyl. I have the CD. 2009. I remember buying a couple and hearing them, and I thought they sounded lousy. And I think it sounded obvious that they were digital, taken from digital. In that case, that's how. I hear things too. Sometimes that I don't like. Oh, this is in the movie Death Wish. Is that what you're talking about? Okay. We can listen to the Get Back album if we don't like Let It Be Naked, but I like both. I watched the Monkeys docu movie last night. I didn't know it existed until last night. The guys portraying the Monkeys did a good job. I don't think I knew it existed. Yeah, they're talking about that. Yeah, I've heard about that. There's going to be a new Elvis film with a lot of rare concert clips in it. Supposedly, a lot of them never seen before. I remember Jackie Gleason. I once watched him and Art Carney playing blackjack at a casino in Atlantic City in the 80s. If anybody out there gets Me TV is back to showing The Honeymooners at 9:30, which is a decent hour. So they're showing them at like midnight or something. So everybody, I think during the summer they're going to do that. So if you got Me TV, well, I'm saying 9:30 Eastern. I don't know what time. You know. Charles Bronson received his star on the Walk of Fame on December the 10th, 1980. I have been there, but I would have been there, but I was only 12 years old. Yeah. I'd have to pass forward past I know the scene you mean, with the P missing in Death Wish. Too brutal for me. You think that's brutal? You should see the one in the same kind of scene in part two. Jeez, and it's really gratuitous, over the top, really over the top. But the thing is, yeah, yes, and I like the Jimmy Page soundtrack. Yes, I do like that. But you see, the other thing you got to remember is the idea is supposed to be to make the guy who's the vigilante, do his thing. It's got to be pretty severe what's done to his loved ones for him to be that angry. Out of the Beatles bootleg albums you have in your collection, which one means the most to you? It's funny. Probably the ones for sentimental reasons that I got the earliest. Like Five Nights in a Judo Arena, the Japanese concert live in Tokyo '66. Yeah, that one. Any of the ones I got really early like that. You ever have a phono cartridge by the brand Empire? Now, I've heard of them, but I have never had one. Yep. It's not enough that the daughter gets violated, then she gets thrown. Well, she jumps out a window and gets impaled. Never mind. So it's not for everybody. I know. It's not for everybody. Since you mentioned Charlton Heston, my father and him were in the film black and white movie Julius Caesar. Uh, I don't think the Julius Caesar version is in color that he directed, if I'm not mistaken. Do you have the old antenna that you screw into the TV to get TV over the air? No, I don't. I don't. Yeah, supposedly in Come Together, that's what John's saying. I never heard it that way. I never heard it that way. And supposedly the bass goes over it. That's what it said. And I think it might have been the Mark Lewison book, when he goes into the studio, listens to all the sessions. That the bass covers over the word "me" or something. Uh, First Death Wish soundtrack is also great by Herbie Hancock. I remember Mad Magazine doing a satire of Death Wish. They went over how much different types of crime went down with him, even shooting jaywalkers. Yeah, that guy, Charles Bronson's character in the Paul Kersey in the Death Wish movies is the most unlucky man in the world. Don't ever get engaged or married to that character, because those poor women always have bad luck. I don't have any thoughts on the Cowsills. It's funny, really. I don't know any Cowsills unless I hear some songs by them and think, huh. I do not miss working at all. Not in any way, not in any shape, not in any form. No way. Oh, yeah. First mention of this, Loretta Swit from MASH fame passed away. She was 87. Good for her. That's pretty good run. Oh, James. I enjoyed the Let It Be Naked video. Thanks. I do like both versions. Thank you. Yeah, I can enjoy both versions too, although I do prefer the Phil Spectorized version. I got you, Daniel Bean. I'm not going to talk too much about this stuff, unfortunately, but I read you loud and clear. Hello, Wes. Do you like Bob Newhart's stand-up? I know you're a fan of Rodney. They're somewhat similar styles. I never really got into Bob Newhart's stand-up, but I haven't heard that much of it, honestly. He stutters an awful lot, and that doesn't mean anything. But I'm just saying, it's hard for him to get stuff out, I think. June starts hurricane season. Wonderful, and the weather still sucks. It's May 31st today, and I was freezing this morning. Come on. Tomorrow is June, for God's sake. Ironically, I was thinking about Let It Be Naked last week before I even heard of the Wings of Pegasus video. Are you a fan of Late Night with Seth Meyers? No, I'm sorry. Wish I could say yes to some of these things, but yeah, I'm sorry. Just the two of us. No, I'm saying just the two of us. Help me, Lord. They could have called it Let It Be Slightly Dressed Up. Then I started thinking, and other people have explained this too in their comments, with the Let It Be Naked thing, that probably just means Let It Be without the Phil Spector things on it. And the Phil Spector stuff is gone from the album, but that's probably what they meant by naked, not stripped down. I was calling it stripped down. Well, it's not really stripped down. It's just that they don't have Spectre all over it. I'd have to hear the song. I'd have to hear the song to know which one it is. I'm sorry. Not a fan of football. Not a fan of basketball. Not a fan of hockey. I like baseball. I'm a baseball fan, even though I don't watch it that much anymore. I mean, believe me, there were years where I'd watch every single Mets game. I wouldn't miss anything. What's going on, Cherry Carter? Really enjoying comedy show 30 Rock. I used to see episodes of 30. No, not 30 Rock. I'm sorry. No, I never saw 30 Rock. Take it back. But I'm thinking of something from Third Rock from the Sun is what I'm thinking of. I was listening to the Beatles channel, and the Shea Stadium overdubbed version of Help came on, which was surprising to me. Yeah. Do you think Conan O'Brien got a fair shot on the Tonight Show? I was just thinking about it. I wonder if Jay Leno going on at 10 ruined his chances. Hard to say, but that was shady on NBC's part. Conan O'Brien's a big Beatle fan, by the way. So anyway, I don't remember what the situation was. I know Jay Leno did the Tonight Show. I don't remember Conan. I don't know. I don't remember Conan O'Brien. Are you saying he never got on? He only had his own show. Are you saying he just never got a chance to go on, or are you saying that he did go on? I don't know the whole history of that. Hey, Penny Lane, what's up? Penny Lane, you're in my ears and in my eyes. What's going on? $17 likes. Yeah, paltry. What's going on with you people? How about some more thumbs up? How about some thumbs ups? Come on. Give me, if you can get up to 50, I don't know, people. For those of you who don't like me, I don't expect you to give thumbs up. But for those of you who do, please give the thumbs up. If you get them up to, I think it's 50, is that right? 50 likes, that could really help. The algorithm. Conan was on it a bit in 2009 on the Tonight Show. His ratings tanked when Leno went on at 10. Okay, all right. Well, I think Conan O'Brien was a pretty good host. 48 likes. Okay, that just happened. 48 likes is good. Come on, we got to get it past 50. Get it past 50. I don't think I saw Cliffhanger. Oh, so, I like Stallone, but I haven't seen everything, you know. I always click on the like as soon as I get on here. Thank you. Let's see. Do you get anything for 2,000 subs? No. Don't get anything for 2,000 subs. My YouTube has been lagging. I saw the movie Total Recall in the theater, and I didn't know what the frick I was looking at. I remember Sharon Stone was pretty hot in that movie. But as far as the movie itself, I just couldn't understand it. I couldn't follow it. I didn't know what. That's my memory of it. I always wanted to give it another try, by the way. I did thumbs up for Joe. Thank you. With the family, I saw Conclave last weekend. It has a lot of interesting characters. This is a good time to put my banner back. Please subscribe to my second channel below, Mr. Cinemayo. Thank you much. Movies, television, nostalgia. I haven't seen Don recently. No, Don is not really allowed in the record store very much anymore, and I don't see him that often. But I still have old footage of him from when I did see him. What new Blu-ray will you watch first? I'm going to watch Death Wish tonight. Death Wish. I didn't even tell anybody I got that. It just arrived today. It arrived about an hour before I was due on here, so I couldn't watch it. Had it arrived earlier in the day, I could have watched it. Let's see. Uh, oh, I hope so. Let me tell you something about Howard Stern. Howard Stern, I was a big fan of his. I discovered Howard Stern in 1984. 1984. I listened to him in 84 and 85 and 86. He was really amazing back then. And I listened to him in the 80s and 90s. And Howard Stern became everything he used to hate. He became everything that he used to make fun of with like Don Imus, you know? Let's see. Thoughts on Ever Present Past. It's just a quick knockoff song, but I do like it. I like Ever Present Past. It's a good song, pop song. It should have done better. It's a kind of song that if Paul had released that in like 1975 or something, it would have done good, you know? Jackie Gleason ever win an Oscar? I don't know about that. See, you have slightly over 2,000 subscribers on the movie channel. I hope it keeps getting more. Thank you. I hope some people here will consider subscribing because it's not just I mean, it's movies of all types and TV shows, but there's other things that pop up. Going shopping, going to thrift stores, you know. If that Three Stooges biopic is the one I've seen, it's awesome, but so sad at the end, especially the Curly story. Yeah, no, the one that I bought is not. It's not a biopic. It's not the biopic. Yeah, I preferred Opie and Anthony. I remember Opie and Anthony. Yes, I do. What do you think about the duet Paul did with Barbara Streisand for My Valentine? I thought it was pretty good. I thought Barbara Streisand was excellent, and I thought Paul was okay. He didn't have much. He stayed. He didn't have much to do. He kind of stayed subdued, and it's really her. It's really her record. That's how I look at it. Uh, yeah, I don't know what happened to Howard Stern. Do I have any famous monsters? Of course, I have almost every famous monsters. I'm missing a lot. I'm missing like the first 30 or so, but I have most of the famous monsters. Of yes, absolutely. If you had room and endless finances, would you build a laboratory down there? I wouldn't build a laboratory. I'd like to build a movie theater, but it gets to the point again. I think I said this last week. The thing is, like, you get to a point where you get where you get older and you just realize, it's just not the same. It's not the same, you know, having a movie theater when you're 63, excuse me, as opposed to say 33. Um, look at this. Well, I remembered the movie The Hustler. I mean, look, here's The Hustler right here. The Hustler, Jackie Gleason. There's Jackie Gleason right there, Minnesota Fats. I didn't realize he won for that. Oh, I don't know. I don't go to concerts anymore, so I really can't tell about ticket prices. But I mean, I've been hearing people bitch and whine about ticket prices since the beginning of time, it seems. So, I don't know what to say. You go online, you get them online, you get them before the show, close to when the venue is going to be started with the show. Get it close to when the shows are going to start. How do you know you still don't have a good 30 in you? That's true. That's true. That would make me 93. You're right. It could be. Yeah, that's what you mean. 30 years. Yeah, that's what yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, I hope so. But the thing is, how alert are you going to be? How sharp are you going to be? How awake are you going to be? You going to fall asleep? You know what I mean? It's not just the years; it's the quality of years. You know what I mean? Hello, Kimba. My DVD of The Hustle didn't survive my DVD purge last year. Gotcha. Well, that's I appreciate doing that. By the way, Kimba, I think you subscribe to my channel below, aren't you? Uh, Vegas hotel prices are stupid if you want to talk about something out of control. Do you like Tom Cruise? Not especially. My favorite Tom Cruise movie is Rain Man. Actually, I think that's the. I mean, I like him. I like Tom Cruise in that movie because he's playing a little, not too nice of a guy in there, and he fits him. When I was a little, a friend of mine had an older brother who had dozens of old issues of Famous Monsters. That was a great magazine. Oh, it was. And back then, you didn't have any movies. You didn't have DVDs or Blu-rays or anything. So you had to make do with the magazine. Yep. Yes, we lost Loretta Swit. Yes, indeed. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, Color of Money. I didn't like. I tried watching that once. I couldn't stand. You want to talk about Tom Cruise? I could not stand Tom Cruise's character or Tom Cruise's personality in that movie or his demeanor. I couldn't watch it. I do not like The Color of Money. I will not watch The Color of Money because I couldn't get through it. I watched it once. It was on TV, and I'm like, I just don't like it. So for me, The Hustler is one and done. It's going to be dinner time for me at about 6 o'clock, folks. So I'm going to have to get going, pretty soon, unless I start making these things 4 o'clock. I've never seen Eyes Wide Shut. I've heard mixed things about it. Some people like it, some people don't like it. Did you know Stan Ollie thought Jackie Gleason was okay to play Ollie? No. Ricky Gervais' story of him seeing a doctor was told stop heavy drinking and add 10 years to your life, but I want the added 10 years to be age 40 or 50, not to 80 and 90. Um, did you send away for any of those mad things from comic books? Yeah, there was a lot of fun stuff. X-ray specs. No, I never sent her away for the X-ray glasses. No, but no. But I did send away for some other stuff. I sent away for they had a life-size Frankenstein poster, supposed to be like 6, 7 feet tall or something. Did that? Did not see Road to Perdition either. No. Hey, that's what I mean. There's so many things to watch. So much music to listen to. Hello, Darren. What's going on? Tom Cruise, literally my least favorite actor. When did you buy your last VHS tape? For me, it was early 2006. Well, I got a DVD player in 1997, and probably that was the around that time was the last time I bought one. I know this. I've heard of this movie, and I know Tom Poston, but I don't remember them. I never seen it. Cool Hand Luke, I have seen Cool Hand Luke, and I got to remember that I need to buy I need to own Cool Hand Luke. I keep forgetting that. I got to buy a copy of Cool Hand Luke. I don't know if I have that yet. I got to put that on my movies to buy list. So many things to remember. Do I have a movies to buy? Cool Hand Luke. I don't know where my list is, like movies to buy. Oh man, this is tough. I got so many lists of things I got to do and show. Leftover meatloaf. One slice of meatloaf and a salad. That's tonight. And I'm going to be warming that up about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to sing. I like to have as few burned copies of DVDs and bootlegs of that nature, as few as I possibly can. Meaning, I of course, I always prefer them to be legit, just because I want things to come out regularly, so you don't have to settle for a dupe. No, I have not started reading my Living in the Material World book yet, and no, I haven't watched the movie I bought, Marty, yet. No, I haven't listened to the Bob Dylan Ten of Swords 10 record set yet. Oh man. Yeah, yeah, that was it. Thin Plastic, the Large Frankenstein. Yeah, I did that. My father made it to 94. Last 5 years, not great. Mom only got to 63. I'd be happy to split the difference. Yeah, and make it 80 with most of my faculties intact. Yeah, yeah. That's one hell of a DVD store you go to, Joe. It's massive. Yeah, I'm glad that people get to see it. Yeah, I thought it would be a good thumbnail picture to put on there. Yeah, I like Cool Hand Luke. That's a real good movie. I'd never heard of that movie, and when I worked at the post office, and when I worked at the U.S. Postal Service, I didn't take any shit from them. So if you're watching, you'll remember me. I didn't take any crap from those bosses or anything. And I remember one guy said, "You know who you are? Who you remind me of?" I said, "Who?" Just Cool Hand Luke. And I said, "Who the hell's Cool Hand Luke?" And he said, "You never saw the movie?" And then I saw it. I was like Cool Hand Luke. Yeah, I never saw Harper, but I would like to. Hello, Tanner. Doing well. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I was just watching some of the videos on your movie channel. Please subscribe if you haven't. Anybody watching this? Yeah, what we have here is a failure to communicate. You know how many times my bosses, when they had me in the office to write me up for something, would say, they didn't say that, but that was the situation. I was like Paul Newman and they were Strother Martin. Oh yeah, Marty is so good. Yeah, I'm so happy, Kimber, that I got my Blu-ray upgrade. I'm so happy. I'm George Harrison. That's all I had to say. I'm George Harrison. Turn the sound on. I can't do it. You mean that posh bird who gets everything wrong? How's that? Couldn't believe my eyes when I seen Anthony buying box sets. He did. Don't believe your eyes. He didn't buy anything. He was just looking at them. Anthony didn't buy anything. Come on, Anthony. You know I love you. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. Now, the show's getting interesting. People are starting to come and talk and stuff. But well, I don't mean it that way. You see how I say things off the top of my head that I don't even think before I talk? There's been nothing but questions and activity and action the whole time I've been here. I'm just saying, I'm going to leave now in 5 minutes or so, and now things are really getting good. Even better. Nope, never seen that. Do I like Julia Roberts? It's funny. The first time I remember seeing Julia Roberts was in the movie from, I think it was 1989, 88 or 9, called Mystic Pizza. And I thought she was so beautiful. I said, who the hell is this? She is beautiful, Julia Roberts. I don't feel as, she's still a pretty woman. I didn't even realize when I said that. She's still a pretty woman, but I don't feel quite as the same as I did the first time as I saw her. Yeah, Luke had to eat all those eggs, man. Canada Post is going on strike. USPS has been told to not ship stuff to Canada. You probably have heard that before. No, I wish the U.S. Postal Service could go on strike, but they couldn't. They couldn't. I have never seen the Rod Steiger version of Marty. No, but Only the Lonely. I love Only the Lonely. I don't know. Have you seen people out there who like Marty, like Kimba? Have you ever seen the John Candy comedy Only the Lonely? Very much like Marty. I love Anthony. He's priceless. Great companion to your videos. Anthony and I shot a little video recorded a little video that's going to go on. It's going to go up pretty soon. Pretty soon, it's going to go up. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's short. It's only like 3 or 4 minutes, but it's good. Uncle Paul, what's going on, Uncle Paul? I think the mono box I heard is sold out again, but it's supposed to come back. Somebody said it's coming back. They're going to put a few more copies back, so keep your eye on. Yeah, same with me, Meg Ryan back in the day. I don't, but yeah. The U.S. Postal Service as a union, if they didn't have a union, I wouldn't have made it 30 years. Believe me. No, but the thing is, there was a thing where they went on strike in 1970, I think, 1970 or 71. They went on strike, the U.S. Postal Service, and it was such a disaster. They had military men come in and try to sort the mail, and they would deliver them, and they were like going crazy. They could, I'll tell you, it's a tough job. It's not as easy as you think. They were like deer in the headlights. They didn't know what was going on. Anyway, what Ernest Borgnine movies do I like? Oh, that's a good question. Willard. He's in Willard. I like Willard. I like Marty, of course. There's a movie called The Catered Affair. I think Katharine Hepburn's in there. I like a catered affair. I like that movie with him in there. I also like Ernest Borgnine in Bad Day at Black Rock. I like him in Barabbas. I don't like him. I don't like Ernest Borgnine in Escape from New York. I don't like that. I like him in the Poseidon Adventure. How the hell could I forget the Poseidon Adventure? Now we're talking. I got to go. I really got to go. Well, okay. I recommend it, but it is a comedy, but it's a sweet comedy. Okay, I'm gonna have to get going, folks. I really like to stay. I'm having a good time, but I just have everything timed with how times that I'm eating and stuff and meals. So I'm gonna leave now, and I'll just say let's finish this up now. And by the way, I'm gonna promote this again. I have them. In case you don't know, I do a movie chat. We could talk about all this movie stuff. I really love everybody here talking about movies now. If you can, if you have the time and you're available, to join us on Monday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, if you can. I know some of you in England can't do that, but we do live movie discussion on my other channel, Mr. Cinemayo. Thing about Andy is he's down to earth, doesn't get caught up in all the spending, that's for sure. Vast amounts of cash and re-releases, never seems to get too overwhelmed by anyone with their collection. He's basically just there. Anthony's basically just there. But he's a great guy and he's fun. Okay, thank you very much. There was a great old black and white movie about a postal convention, which was very good, maybe from the 40s. Okay, everybody. Hello. All right, everybody. I'm going to have to go and I got to tear myself away, which is what it comes down to. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody that's here. I appreciate I'm reading everybody. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go now. Tomorrow, I expect to make an update video. Nobody's asked me about it. Nobody's talking about it. But I expect, and some of you know what I'm talking about. It's been a month. I hope to shoot an update video. And you'll find out. And I don't know when it's going to be up. It might be up tomorrow. It might be up the day after. Something like that. So anyway, talk to you all soon. Cheers. Just cheers like the TV show.